Are you staying up late? Well, it's not late for you, I guess.
No, it's not. Hey, we're live. Gonna squeeze this in before the basketball game in. I feel sad for you guys in the Central and the Eastern time zones. You guys have got to stay up late if you want to watch a basketball game tonight.
Especially,
For me, it's just normal time. It'll be over by 9 for me.
yeah, it'll be over.
Or if Creighton gets hot, it'll be over earlier for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here to talk mainly Illinois. Okay, so Illinois got a quarterback controversy. Who do they start? The regular starter who's ready to go, or do they bring out their what is he, a sophomore, Paddock, who threw for 500 yards?
Paddock will be the starter.
Really? Okay, let's start there then. All right.
I know about Paddock. I know I've had a few debates with people online about him because so many Iowa fans are being really dramatic about his 500 yards against Indiana.
Right. We have to keep in mind, one, it was Indiana.
And two, that was the first time that you really have tape on him.
Right.
Now, let's just say like Phil Parker has tape on Paddock. Every quarterback has their own tendencies. And Phil will find them exactly what he's doing. I only had him as a 3-star coming out of high school. But yes, I was impressed. That was one of the big questions. But weren't you impressed with what he did? Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yes.
He completed some passes against Indiana. He did go for 500 yards. But that was Indiana's first time really seeing him, too. He took advantage of that, right? A lot of times the first game a quarterback plays, they do well because there's no tape on them.
That is true.
And that is this case. Which is why, if you really think about it, Wisconsin's freshman quarterback, his best game was against Iowa.
Right.
After Mordecai got hurt, he came in and he did not do too bad against Iowa.
Yeah, that's true.
He really sucked since. So it's because there's tape on him.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to put this comment up. It's kind of out of place, but Casey, yes, thank you for asking everybody to do that. Everybody, hit the like button on there. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And after you like it, share it. Okay. So Iowa's defense, number 3 in the country right now for scoring defense. So what do you think? Boy, I'm just feeling like I'm really stuffed up and not feeling right here. I wonder if this would be better. Anyway. Okay, so what does Phil Parker draw up for a kind of a plan to stop a guy who's going to be trying to throw the ball all over the place?
Just do what he normally does. And it's 100% different when it's zone defense. All the eyeballs will be on the quarterback when the ball's in the air. There won't be much man coverage unless Paddock is able to pick Iowa apart, but I don't think he's that kind of quarterback. He's not exactly the most accurate quarterback, which is what you have to be against Iowa. He'll do some cover 2 man if he's able to pick apart their zone. He'll do his cover 2 man defense. So, but I don't see Paddock being able to do much against Iowa.
Okay. All right. So last year on senior day, we went into the Nebraska game only needing to beat them in order to go to the Big Ten West title game or Big Ten title game. Okay. The guys were saying in their interviews today that it was so emotional for them that it affected their gameplay, and so they're going to try to keep an even keel. Well, would it be better for them to do senior day after the game instead of right before the game? Because Kirk Ferentz said as soon as they get the introductions and stuff down there, they have just a few minutes to get their act together and get back on the field.
Yeah, no, you do it beforehand. Just keep doing what you always do. That really, I don't believe that took a part in it because nothing happened until Cooper went down. And then they picked on the true freshman corner. That's all they did.
Right.
And what was the bad part in Iowa style is they don't switch sides with their corners. So it was Nebraska's best receiver, who is now playing for Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, against Iowa's true freshman corner. And Nebraska just took advantage of it. That's all that was. There really isn't a whole lot. And they only got 17 points out of that, really.
Mm-hmm.
But then Bruce had to fumble the ball on a punt. So it's not all that. Bruce's drop on the punt return didn't have anything to do with senior day. He was probably worried about his gambling. That game is just another one of those games that last year was weird. The Iowa State game was weird last year. Yeah, Indiana's at the bottom or near it. I don't know which. Yeah, I believe Indiana is the bottom over there.
It is. And Purdue's our bottom. We can make Illinois right above Purdue by beating them. All the scenarios that are out there, about this game and stuff, and what ifs and whatnots, and who should lose for Iowa to play it safe. Iowa just needs to win this game, hands down. Win the game, and everybody else is quiet.
It doesn't. What happens if they win? And that's all they care about. They know. They beat Illinois, it's over. They win the West.
Right. Yeah, so I hope that they've got that extra edge going into the game. I am concerned about the quarterback throwing so much, but at the same time, I realize that it's Indiana's defense that they were up against. But they gave up a heck of a lot of points to Indiana, too. Indiana had 45 points against them. And so that's saying, what happened to Illinois' defense? I know they got the one guy who's supposed to be the best in the league. He leads the league in quarterback hurries and stuff. Can't think of his name right now.
Big number 4.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even write his name down. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, he'd probably be causing havoc, or at least that probably be the game plan, causing havoc for Deacon Hill all game, right? You think he'll be going after him most of the game?
But they lost everybody. This is what I was trying to tell certain people who had Illinois winning, is they lost so much to the NFL. Illinois is just like an Iowa type program, right? They're a developmental program, but they haven't had the years that Kirk has had to rebuild within the system. So when Iowa lost all their guys on defense, they had guys right behind them who have already played, who already knew what to do, and now they're playing the best football that they have all year, maybe even better than last year. So, no, what happened was Illinois lost everybody, and they're not quite ready to lose guys to the NFL. So, but yeah, they're not going to throw the ball all over the place against Iowa's defense.
No, and honestly, teams that have tried this year have failed. Failed on that.
Everybody was worried about what Rutgers did against Ohio State. All the haters picked Rutgers to beat Ohio State. Like all of them. Oh, Rutgers is going to kill Iowa. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Everybody, because of what the game was. Look what Iowa's defense did to Rutgers compared to what Ohio State did to Rutgers. The only team that Iowa can't beat in the Big Ten, and all the Big Ten, if they were to play Penn State again, it'd be a different. It was at Penn State. It was a whiteout. It was a weather game. Nothing happened on Iowa's side at all. I mean, the special teams played their worst game of the year, right? The only team that Iowa can't compete with in the Big Ten would be Michigan, I think. I don't think anybody could. I think it's going to be Michigan and Georgia
in the title?
In the title game.
Okay. All right.
Michigan is just.
Yeah.
Take away the sign stealing. I don't know why they would even try that, because they're loaded.
Right. Well, and if Iowa meets Michigan, which it looks like they probably will in the title game, Michigan runs.
I'm pulling up for Ohio State.
Okay. All right.
I want Marvin Harrison to have the biggest game of his life against Michigan.
Okay.
But it does look like, I don't think anybody can beat Michigan, to be honest, except Georgia. But I'm just hoping, it's that rival game where something bad happens.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
Ohio State can beat them.
A lot of things can happen in a rivalry game.
Yeah.
We'll take a brief tour here. Jared wants to wish the best of luck to Torrey Taylor in his NFL career. He's the only one who has committed to telling the media today that he was definitely leaving for the NFL. All the others that have a year of eligibility left haven't committed yet, and I don't know why they would commit so early.
They're
great for Torrey to know that he's going and he's leaving, and because you know what, he's ready. He's ready, and it's going to be good. What's on TV tonight that you keep watching?
Well, I'm talking to you.
I know.
What's on TV?
What's
Duke, Michigan State, Illinois, Marquette. There's all kinds of things on TV tonight.
Oh, okay. Big East rival Gavitt games. Got it. Okay, all righty. Jared also wants to know, what are the chances Brian F. becomes the OC job at Buffalo? I think he's only headed to the NFL. What do you think?
Yeah, he won't get an OC job until he proves himself again. He'll have to talk smack about his dad when he goes into interviews. But I think is he talking about Buffalo Bills or the Buffalo Bulls?
I was thinking the college Buffalo team.
Yeah,
but you probably think it probably is the Bills.
Yeah, and he's not going to get it. There's no chance for that.
Yeah,
Joe Brady should have been the OC from the beginning. I don't know if you guys know who Joe Brady is. Joe Brady won the national championship as the OC with LSU. He was the reason. Him and Joe Burrow were the two reasons with their receivers.
Okay,
they won the national championship that the head coach, likes to coattail off of.
Right.
But Joe Brady is a stud OC. I don't know why he wasn't OC to begin with. He was just a quarterback's coach. But he's going to take the OC job at Buffalo, and now watch what Buffalo does the rest of the year. It's going to be a different Buffalo team.
Okay.
So, no, Brian's not going to be a Buffalo Bill unless it's the coach tight ends or something.
All right. Well, let's get back to Illinois. So what should we worry about? What is Illinois going to give us fits on that we should worry about?
The only thing that they should worry about is a defensive tackle, like you said. It's going to have to be one of those games where Brian better attack the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did against Rutgers. I give him credit. He attacked the outside against Rutgers, and it worked.
Right.
And if Wetjen doesn't trip over his own feet, he scores easily, just cutting it up.
Yeah.
What
happened was he looked just as he was before he turned, he looked and he goes, "Oh shit, I got an open lane. Dang it." Oh, then he trips.
Brown had 2 carries for like 20 yards or something.
Yeah. No, and I didn't realize Brown was the recipient of that 2-point conversion that got called back.
Yeah.
They talked about that today too.
Illinois has got, they got a big running back. It just depends on Illinois' patience. I hope they throw the ball every down.
Yeah. Caden Fagan is the running back you're talking about. Yep. He has 483 yards with a 4.6 carry.
Yep, and he's a big dude. He's like 250 pounds.
Right.
So if they have patience, they can pound at Iowa like Penn State did.
Right.
Right. They could literally use Penn State's game plan against Iowa. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Well, this is why I think they could bring the other quarterback, Altmaier, because he is a running quarterback.
Yeah, a running quarterback's not going to do anything.
Well, I think Iowa's always struggled in the past with a running quarterback, haven't they?
Well, how many years ago are you talking? When's the last time a running quarterback beat Iowa besides Utah State this year? We just went up against one of the best running quarterbacks in the country last week.
Yeah, and he didn't run. Why?
That's what I'm saying. He had 3 carries for -2 yards or something?
Yeah.
They shut down that quarterback power. No, I don't see if Altmaier plays, then Iowa's going to probably. If Luke Altmaier plays instead of Paddock, Iowa's going to destroy him. I don't see that happening because the way to beat Iowa is to pick them apart like Penn State did.
Right.
Pound the rock on 3rd and short. Throw those short passes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to Illinois. They do have the talent to, because Paddock is a good enough quarterback to pick you apart.
Yeah.
But he's not going to throw the ball downfield against
Yeah.
Iowa.
I think the good thing is we've got complete film on them, and Indiana did not. And I think Indiana was probably caught a little off guard a little bit.
Well, of course. Yeah.
You know, but to Indiana's credit, they could have won that game.
Right. But to Illinois' credit, they took advantage of Indiana not knowing exactly what Paddock can do.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
The best.
It makes you wonder why he wasn't playing all year.
Yeah, I don't know, because Luke Altmaier sucks. So I don't want to say suck. Well, I guess I can. He's just not a good quarterback.
Yeah. So Jared thinks we just need to keep throwing the ball. So if we do that.
Are we talking about Iowa throwing the ball?
Yeah, I said, Jared, we need to keep throwing the ball. That's my opinion.
Okay. I will disagree on that.
Yeah.
You don't want Deacon just throwing the ball 40, 50 times. If he throws it around 30 times, I'll be happy. But other than that, no.
Yeah, what did he throw it for last week? 30?
Exactly.
30 times?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it's hard to get him to throw because he starts so slow. He
Right.
was 1 for 6 in the first part of the game.
Correct, he was.
So, I mean, you can't just keep throwing it when he's not completing it.
Right. So it looked like the first part of the game he was trying to do normal things, normal play routes and stuff. And the second half, when he started completing it, it looked like they were running easier routes for him.
I'll disagree. It all looked the same.
All right, no, that's fine. You can. I mean, your eyes see better than I do. So.
Well, I'm just saying they were running all the same plays. The difference is he was just completing them. They were all wide open. He did a lot of bootlegs, so he's able to get outside the pocket. He needs to turn his head quicker and get the ball out quick. Yeah, I don't think it was Ari. His knee down. Unlike when he pretty much caught it. But that just depends on who sees what.
Yeah.
I think Kirk felt it was good. Did you hear Kirk's press conference today?
Yeah.
I think Kirk felt it was good.
Yeah. I think he knows it was good because it was good. It's just I didn't think there was enough. They ruled it a 2-pointer to begin with, and honestly, there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. So how did they think they could overturn it?
I don't know. It didn't look good to us at the stadium. So,
well, the problem is they go by the knee, and the knee never really touched the ground until after the ball crossed the plane. I mean, his leg did. His leg was down, but his knee didn't.
I don't know how the hell that happened. How does that work?
Well, he was dragging what they called they said he was dragging his shin, but the knee was still up. That's
almost impossible to do. That's weird.
Yeah. If you watch the replays, just watch it. I mean, closer when you're not watching it on a stadium Jumbotron. Okay. Okay. This one goes to what Jared and I talked about last night. New wrestling rankings out for Iowa wrestling. Iowa moves up in the internet mat rankings. They're now number 7. Hopefully, if you guys haven't seen that show that we did last night, it's really good with a lot of insight information that we put out there for you guys. And it is the video right before this one in the video log there. So go check out what we did. It's only about 30 minutes, so go check it out.
I watched it.
Okay.
I gave it a like.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know what you were talking about, but I watched it.
Indiana had the worst secondary breakdown I've ever seen, according to Kelvin.
He's
really
confused.
Exactly, Dino. I'm not sure what he's agreeing on what I said, but
he's agreeing on with the point conversion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All of us at the stadium, we thought he was down.
Yeah. I mean, I could see how everybody thought he was down. I really did. I was looking strictly at the knee, but he was dragging the leg, but he had that knee up right at the very end. But the bottom part of his shin ankle area was dragging the ground. And like you said, you don't know how that's possible. He proved it was possible, in my opinion. But the knee was about that far off the ground. And then it dropped as soon as the ball crossed the plane. As soon as he shoved it out there, then his knees dropped. And it was kind of like bang, bang.
I'll take your word for it because the way Coach talked today, he's tired of the instant replay.
I know it. I saw when I watched the replay of his news conference. I watched all the comments about how replay is ruining the game, and I think it's true.
Yeah.
When replay first came, replay first came out, it was only used a couple times during the game. Now it just seems like every crucial play is being reviewed.
Yeah, he said he doesn't know the definition of confirmation or something now. He's like, it's all weird.
Yeah. Okay. It was called a TD. I think he was talking about the 2-point conversion there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Replays out of control. I agree. I think last week's game had more replays than I've ever seen in my life. Okay. It completely ruined the flow. Yeah, Ari, it did.
And then on top of that, you got 5 minutes of commercials.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It was
then just, you come out of replay. Okay, I'm sorry, we were in commercial break, but here's what they ruled. NBC was good for that. NBC doesn't stay with. I like at least Fox and ESPN will stay with it while they're ruling it instead of running to commercial break.
Yeah.
NBC goes, oh, why they figure that out? Let's go to commercial break. We'll see you guys in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it got really annoying sitting there at the game like that.
Yeah. Get away from the replay, completely revise the replay rule. I think so. I definitely think so.
I think Kirk could be behind that too.
Yeah. So anyway, looking at one of the things that Kirk can get off the tie mark on with Bo Schembechler and be in third place all by himself. Looking at his win total, and I thought if he can win another 3 to 4 games, if he wins 4, then they won the Big Ten championship. But if they can win 3 to 4 more games this year, he'll be really close to putting himself in a position to go over 200 next year, 200 wins, and that would be amazing. So I think he probably would like to shoot for that. So I think we at least have him for next year, and he's already said we do.
I mean, he's already in position right now to go over 200 next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, unless the bottom falls out, and then the bottom falls out next year.
It won't.
I know.
There's too much talent on the team. There's no reason to think negative.
Yeah.
That hasn't fell out forever. They've won 8 games every year since 2015. UCLA is about to fire their head coach. I mean, it's not. The bottom isn't going to fall out.
Yeah. Ari says, enjoy the same commercials you've seen all day long. Oh, that's true. Should penalties be up for replay? Good question. Do we now want to add them to the replay and make our replay games a little longer?
Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk about that one, Jared. I mean, they could have called the horse collar on Brown on the one run, but I don't want him to stop the game for that.
Yeah. Which game could Kirk go over 200? Well, it depends on what he wins yet this year. He has at least 4 games in my book to play yet. So let's see how he does in those first.
Yeah, if he wins all 4, then he has 198.
Yeah.
Iowa State game next year.
Yeah, that would be the Iowa State game next year. Or the game after Iowa State if he doesn't win the title.
Right.
Or the bowl game. I'm looking at the bowl scenarios, and it looks like we're going to put ourselves in a position to go to the Citrus Bowl. I'm not sure I want to go to a bowl that high with that tough of a team, but we'll talk about that after the season.
Yeah, I think they'll go to a January 6th bowl if they go and they put up a good showing in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, okay.
I want to see him in a big time bowl game.
Yeah.
I want to see him play against like Missouri or somebody who everybody is touting right now.
Well, I think Missouri's and Iowa are already slotted for the Citrus Bowl in somebody's opinion.
But if they keep winning, though, they're going to go up.
Yeah, right.
Missouri,
yeah, like Kirk said, they qualify for a bowl. Every win puts them in a better bowl game.
Yep. And I want to see him in a big bowl game. I don't want to see him in a normal Citrus Bowl. I want to see him in the Orange Bowl or something.
Yeah. So Here's a good question. Could Penn State and Iowa both get in the New Year's Six Bowl as long as Ohio State and Michigan are probably both in the playoffs?
I don't know. I think Penn State's got. I mean, yeah, it's probably possible, but I think Penn State's they got to show up this week. They fired their OC. Who knows what happens after that? Like Penn State, they may be on their way down. They have who do they have? They have like Maryland or somebody, and
who?
Penn
State.
Yeah, who they have? Like all of a sudden, I can't remember.
I think they're at Maryland this week, but I didn't write that down as one of our games. I just didn't think it was going to be a contest, so I didn't even want to write it down.
Oh, Maryland can make it a contest. Penn State fired their offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's true. It's true.
I mean, you don't know how the offense is going to respond to whoever's going to be calling plays now.
Okay. All right. So keeping on. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't cover this one. I put it up there. Ole Miss or Mizzou versus Iowa, and what projections are for the bowl game?
Yeah, that's what I saw too, Ari.
Yeah. It was USC and Iowa in the Las Vegas Bowl, but like you said earlier, Jason, that if Iowa's ended up the Las Vegas, the bottom fell out of our season.
Yeah. USC's probably still going to go there, but
yeah, they're 7-4 right now with have to play UCLA yet.
Yeah. And they're going to fire their head coach, so who knows what happens in that game.
Well, UCLA's having a halfway decent season, aren't they?
No.
Are they losing?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
I thought they were like 7-4 too.
Well, I mean, they might be 7-4.
I'll have to look that one up. Okay. Colorado won't make it to 6 wins. Did anybody think they really would?
Jared did.
Okay. Sorry, Jared. Oh yeah. I see your sad face up there now.
Jared's been talking about Colorado all year.
Yeah. Well, I thought he also said he was officially off the Colorado train now too.
Well, he is, but that's why he's sad.
Okay. I'm so sick of Hawkeye Bowl games in Orlando. Yeah, guys, I want to talk about that. When I was doing some research for the number of wins that Kirk had in the Big Ten to see who was right and who was wrong, and all the arguments out there, because I knew that the stats that were being thrown out were old stats, not new stats. Anyhow, I discovered we have been to the Outback Bowl 6 or 7 times. It's 7 times, and we've been to no other bowl during Kirk's tenure more than twice, and some only once. Is that kind of amazing? You know, and that's why I kind of agree with on that statement, because I mean, he did say Orlando, but what about the other one? I believe Orlando's the Citrus, right? Or
the Capital One and the Outback. I think the Outback is in Orlando.
Okay, Outback, yeah.
And then you got the Capital One.
Capital One, which is now the Citrus Bowl, FedEx Citrus Bowl, or something like that.
I thought the Citrus Bowl is a completely different bowl.
No, that's the old. What did you just call it? Capital One. That's the old Capital One.
Okay.
They just got a new sponsor. So every time they get a new sponsor.
No, but I thought because better teams seem to be going to the Citrus Bowl. So.
Well, they get first pick after the New Year's Six, so they would get some decent teams going there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to get some more here. Is Coach Franklin on the hot seat?
He might be. I mean, with the talent that he gets, imagine Kirk having Penn State's talent. I mean, good Lord. And Penn State spends a lot of money on recruiting, right?
Right.
Iowa doesn't. So when they don't have the talent, then they're not wasting money. Like, legit, Franklin wastes money at Penn State.
Right.
Because
I was a legit developmental program, which is why you rarely see 4 or 3-year starters at Iowa. You know, and there's a lot of people who don't see the field until their 5th year at Iowa.
They do awesome like Higgins.
Yeah, right? And then that's what I'm saying. Then they just they're just kicking butt.
Yeah.
Okay. Maryland might be a trap game for Michigan. I got a feeling, Michigan is using this rally cry because of their coach is not there, and and I think somebody mentioned it earlier in one of the comments. We shall overcome.
I mean, you're right, Ari, but Maryland don't have a defense, period. So I think Michigan probably blows them away.
Yeah,
because
their defense did pretty good against Nebraska.
Because Nebraska sucks. Nebraska has one of the worst offenses, just like Iowa.
Okay, Jared says, I thought 8 wins. Okay, he's talking about Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay. Stanford killed their chances. Did Stanford upset them?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. UCLA is 6-4 and plays USC and then plays Cal. Yep. I think they play USC. They don't play this week, do they? I think they play rivalry week.
No, they play this week.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because I thought that was always the last game of the season for those two.
So yeah, and with that schedule, they could easily be 6-6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is Cal pretty good this year then?
They're an average team. They could beat UCLA.
Okay.
Cal put a lot of pressure on a lot of teams. The Cal almost beat USC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here we go. CBS has Iowa playing Missouri in the Citrus. Okay. We just keep moving along here. Yeah, Citrus is in Orlando. So we've only been, in Kirk's tenure, we've only been to the Citrus Bowl twice under the name of Capital One. And we've been to the Outback Bowl 7 times. Okay. Wait a minute, let's go. All right, it's because of Big Ten Bowl contracts. Yeah. Let's go Hawks. I wanted to get Stefan in there.
Let's go Hawks. That's right.
Sammy. Sam, we still have a podcast coming up, you and I. But now, do you still want to do it now that we're out of the season? Okay. Hawkeye hater. Wait a minute here. Let's put this one up for people to read. Okay.
Sam's Twitter famous. You should have Sam on because he's Twitter famous.
Yeah.
Get some more subscribers.
I always told him, and he knows this, to contact me because I've asked him a couple times if he was ready and he wasn't, and so I just told him to let me know when he was ready to do it. And he never did. So Sam, when you're ready, let's do it. Okay, Hawkeye hater fans thought Iowa wouldn't break 6-6 this week. Blah 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 blah. Big West sucks. Blah 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 blah. I love Jared. Honestly, I was one of the ones that said 10 or 11 wins this year. And it looks like it can still happen despite everything that happened.
Penn State's not great at math.
Yeah. I think what they were trying to do with that 2-point conversion was put themselves in a position that they would be a point ahead in order to win the game. And they figured even if they missed the 2-pointer and made a 1-pointer either way, they were going to need a touchdown to win.
Who are we talking about?
I mean, if it came that close. I think that's what their thinking was.
Are you talking about Iowa?
No, Penn State, because they said Penn State wasn't good at math. Remember when they decided to take that 2-point conversion try instead of kick an extra point?
Yes. It was the dumbest play. I mean, that's a Franklin play right there. I wasn't thinking that. Yeah. Good call, Dean. I was not thinking that's what he meant.
Yeah. Okay, Nebraska will not make a bowl game, period. Then they'd have to lose to both Wisconsin and Iowa, right?
Which is possible.
Which is very possible.
Because Nebraska does not have an offense, period.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go on record and
they do not.
I'm going to hope that Nebraska does win this week that they are bowl eligible.
Hell no.
I know. You're living in Nebraska in Omaha, so I can understand your thinking here. It's like I'm so sick of the Nebraska fans that they don't want to.
It's just always more fun when Nebraska's not bowling.
Okay. UCLA plays Cal for rivalry week. Yeah. talk about Iowa basketball. They got a game against Creighton. Yeah, I was going to mention that at our end. They've got a really good player there that practically carries them to the number 8 ranking. And when he was down last year, Creighton lost 6 games in a row. But when he came back, they went back up and went to the Final Four. Right?
Yeah.
Did they go to the Final Four?
Elite 8, I think.
Yeah, Elite 8. You're right. It was Elite 8.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty good. That's a lot further than Iowa's made it in a long time.
Yep.
Okay. All righty.
Tom, because the fans wanted Dr. Tom gone.
Yeah. If you're down 9 and don't get the 2-point conversion, the game is over. Yeah. Okay. Simple math. Huck the Huskers. Okay, wait a minute. I said that wrong.
You did, but I was going to let it go. Maybe you didn't want to use the F word.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I picked up a new fan last night from my Bible study. Even though he's not a Hawkeye, he did it for me. So, yeah, we do got to be kind of clean now. I'm just kidding.
Did he subscribe?
Huh?
Did he subscribe?
Yeah. He wanted to see it, so I showed him how to find it. And then I asked him if he subscribed, and he said he just did.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Okay, Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game in a decade. Yeah, we all know that. Okay. Not trying to be. Iowa's going to kick Nebraska. Okay. Guys, you've run out of comments.
Well, that's fine. You got to do your show. You can't let the...
Oh, I like the comments helping run the show a little bit. I really do. You know? Because they help keep us on point. Okay? You know?
The crazies run the asylum.
Oh, these guys aren't crazy. They keep my show going, boy. I love every one of them. Yeah. So anyway, Illinois scores about an average of 24 points a game, but they give up almost 30 points a game, so 29.3. Iowa's up to 18.8 now. And we're down to 12.3 on what we give up. And so that's pretty cool, I thought.
I thought they were 18.8 last week.
They were 18.1 last week.
Oh, okay.
So we came up a little. I love this one. Oh, I love this one here. This one's for you, Jason.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right, Sammy. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. In our 12.3, what we give up for score is third. We're ranked third on that one. So that's pretty good. I don't know who's ahead of us, but I don't care. It's just that
it's that defense that you picked on all year.
Yeah. I didn't get their scoring rank on Illinois or their defensive rank.
I mean, it's not good. I mean, that's the thing is what Iowa has to do is attack the edges. We can't just keep running up the middle because we can't block. Number 4. He's a stud. He's a big man. He destroyed Penn State by himself in the middle. Like, legit, that was Penn State's worst offensive game. It was against Illinois, and it's because they tried treating Illinois like they were Iowa. But with that man in the middle, they could not block him.
Right.
So,
okay. Ari wants to know why I want Nebraska in a bowl game. I will tell you. Because I feel like even if Iowa wraps up the division this week by beating Illinois, I want us to win that game to have a 10-win season, regular season, 10 wins, and I don't want Nebraska needing an Iowa victory at home in their stadium with their crowd to get bowl eligible. And I know it doesn't matter as long as Iowa wins and beats Illinois. It doesn't really matter what Nebraska wants. But that's my explanation. And Jason doesn't disagree with me. So you guys can see we don't always think alike here.
I was going to say, I do disagree with you.
Yeah, that's what I said. You do disagree.
You said I don't disagree with me.
Oh, okay.
You said Jason doesn't disagree with me.
Yeah.
No, 100%, because you're just playing the mental game that I just don't believe in. I want Iowa to want it just as bad as Nebraska. That's the only reason.
Okay.
I mean, and I think Iowa is just going to just destroy Nebraska's offense. It's going to be one of those games where I don't care if Iowa kicks 4 field goals, but the defense is going to get them in position to score.
Yeah. Sam has called you out. He says you secretly told him this summer.
Yeah, my wife was there too, Sam. Now, ask my wife. You were drunk. You don't even remember anyway.
There you go. Torrey Taylor, drafted in the second or third round. Where do punters normally get drafted? Don't they get drafted later?
Oh, yeah. They don't get drafted at all. The only first-round draft pick punter, in modern day football, the Raiders took that punter from Florida State in the 90s. What was his name? No, he was a kicker. He wasn't a punter. He was a kicker.
Yeah.
I don't think Torrey gets drafted at all.
Yeah.
He'll get brought to a camp, and then I'm sure he'll win the job.
Kickers
and punters usually don't get drafted in modern day football.
That's because they want to use their draft pick on other skilled positions and certain defensive positions that they're looking for. But I would think that if a team really needed a punter, like they got a punter situation where they're only averaging under 40 yards a game and they're having trouble with field position and maybe they're kind of losing a little bit, not quite winning some games because of field position and stuff. Maybe they do draft him if they really need somebody like that to help them with their punting game. And rather than risk him getting signed by somebody else where he can pick and choose who to sign with.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but.
No, I just threw it out there as a scenario.
Oh, no, right. Just because I think they'll get made fun of if they draft a punter. The game today, they don't even want to punt, right? They just.
Right.
Teams who just run the football and play great defense like Iowa get made fun of, which is why they're not even ranked in the AP poll. Tonight, I don't know if you guys are watching, what's Iowa ranked tonight? I haven't seen. It's supposed to be, the playoff committee does their rankings tonight.
Right.
They'll probably be top 20, but the AP still has them unranked. It's because they're playing with the Iowa fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb. This is why Kirk hates college football right now. He really doesn't like the direction it's going because it's not about winning anymore.
I think a lot of the old-time coaches that have been around for a long time feel that way, but I'm guessing that the young coaches, the up-and-comers, are excited about the way things are going.
I don't know if they are. I mean, if it's not about wins and losses, then you're screwed. So,
yeah. I know. You got Fickle over there at Wisconsin. And I told this to Jared last night when we talked that how Wisconsin was like the trendy pick at the preseason to win the West, and I said right here on the podcast I didn't believe that they would be that good. I thought they would be a year or two away until Fickle got his people that he wanted in place to run his system, and But what's hurt them, of course, is the fact that they're now running with a backup quarterback like Iowa, but we're finding ways to win with ours, and they lost their number one running back.
It's because of style of play.
Yeah.
Iowa can win with injuries on offense, period, because they're a defensive team.
Right.
However, if we get injuries on defense, Iowa will struggle to win. It's about philosophy. But Brian Suter, as wrong as he was about Illinois, he's 100% right about Wisconsin. Remember all his Wisconsin, people were calling him a hater when he was talking about Wisconsin not being very good, and everybody was picking Wisconsin to win the West. And he was picking Illinois to win the West. So he was wrong about Illinois, but he was 100% right about Wisconsin.
I'm not sure what that means. He's got Jared. Utah State, ISU, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Illinois, and possibly Western Michigan.
For bowl games on Iowa's schedule?
If they win out, I guess. I'm not sure.
No, if Western Michigan wins out, which they were losing before we started this, 7-0, Western Michigan could be bowl eligible. Utah State could be bowl eligible. ISU is. Wisconsin could be. Rutgers is. Illinois could be.
Right.
Iowa, literally this week, Iowa could have a bunch of teams become bowl eligible. I mean,
Right.
6 of the 7 teams, right, in the Big Ten West could be bowl eligible. 6 out of 7.
Well, yeah. Remember, 2 of them are playing each other, so 2 of them might not get so lucky this week, but would have a chance next week to do
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And this week, no matter what, a couple of them are going to be. But by the end of the year, 6 of the 7 teams in the West could be bowl eligible. But I don't want Nebraska to be bowl eligible, so there's that.
How many teams with +6 wins could Iowa beat this season? ISU, Rutgers, and okay, all right. Now I get the question. Now I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean a lot. We just I guess pretty much answered that one.
Yeah. So by some of these teams becoming bowl eligible, which they already have a couple of them, that would make Iowa, that would legitimize Iowa's schedule instead of everybody saying they're 8-2 with a crappy schedule.
They'll still say.
Yeah. But as we know, the playoff committee sees that differently than everybody else does. You know?
The playoff committee looks at it as reality.
Yeah.
Not just some crazy Iowa fans who wants Iowa's schedule to be bad.
Yeah.
They usually, I shared last week that the formula that I use, that I share, the playoff committee used something very similar, because the formula that I share had Georgia at the 92nd, strength of schedule, and the playoff committee had it at 90th, right? So they're like really close to the same formula as far as strength of schedule, and they have Iowa's at 35th. So, and Iowa fans hate that fact.
Yeah. Well, this is something I'm going to love. ISU, Iowa State, still has a chance to make it to their title game. But they'd have to beat Texas to do that.
Yep.
And that makes me excited to think that both Iowa and Iowa State could be in title games for their conference. And I think the whole state would go crazy over that.
And the fact that it's this late in the year, they're competing for it regardless.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, true.
Right now, Iowa State has a lot of work to do. It's easier for Iowa because all they got to do is just win.
Yeah.
Where Iowa State's got to win both their games and then hope Oklahoma loses.
Right.
And they got to hope Kansas loses again.
Right.
Kansas is down to their 3rd string quarterback, and they play K-State this week.
Okay, so
Kansas could lose this week, which would jump Iowa State up if Iowa State were to win.
Iowa State has to play Kansas State after Texas. So those are 2 tough games, as we know.
Yep.
Yeah, so we know that. But I wish them well. I hope they do it, and I hope they get the help they need. I really do.
Anyway, so I hope they beat Texas regardless.
Yeah. Would that take Texas out of the playoff? I mean, out of the championship game?
Yep. It will. I mean, because Iowa State would have the tiebreaker. So then there's literally a 5-way tie at the top in the Big 12.
Okay.
They all have 2 losses.
Really? Including Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's got 2 losses.
Wow.
Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Iowa State, Kansas State, Kansas, all have 2 losses.
Okay.
And Iowa State doesn't get the tiebreaker because they go to in the Big 12, they go to the next closest common opponent, which is Kansas for all of them, and Iowa got beat by Kansas. So,
yes. Okay, Jared, the soccer team plays number 4 Georgia. They're seeded number 4. Iowa's seeded number 5, and the winner gets number 1 Clemson. I don't know. As we came on air, I was trying to find out when they actually play that game, but University of Iowa wrote up their official write-up on it without giving a date or a time. It's this weekend, though. It could be any time this weekend, but they did say the weekend, so maybe at the time of the write-up they haven't determined the exact day and time yet.
It's No Shave November. How many of you guys watching this aren't shaving? Because Dino, he's got shaved.
I'm not shaved.
Oh, you're not? Oh,
no, I got. It's white. It's a white beard though.
It's
a
white.
white beard.
It's white, so I can't tell.
Right. Today, I mean, so I started growing it November 1st, and
Okay.
I asked the haircut lady when I was there, I go, do you think it's close to ready to be trimmed up on the sides and the bottom to make it look neat? And she goes, it's way too early. Come back in a month and we'll fix it for you.
Yeah, my son can't grow it, just like me. And if you saw that picture of us at the game, it's No Shave November for him and his college friends too. His whole house, none of them are shaven. And Tavian's got like this little mustache here, and he's 20 years old. Oh, they come out at 8. Thanks, Kelvin. I wasn't sure.
So that means by the time we're done here, then they'll be out. Okay. All right. Are you November? Are you doing No Shave November too?
Yeah.
Okay.
On my head, everything. Like I got.
Yeah. I actually taken a pill that's supposed to be for something else, but the end result was it's supposed to grow hair on the top of my head. It's, for some people, that's the side effect.
The side effect is you get to grow hair.
Yeah. Well, that's what. And when the doctor told me, he goes, "I just got to warn you about one major side effect. It may cause you to grow hair on top." Oh, and that's a bad thing? He just starts laughing.
That's one of the good side effects.
Yeah. Although, I mean, it's not growing long, but I can kind of feel some little prickly stubs up there.
Although with being Italian, I don't have to worry about going bald. I mean, look at these eyebrows, this hair.
My wife disagreed. She just poked her head in. She disagreed with that comment on my hair.
Oh.
Okay, wait a minute. Hang on. I can't even read
this.
There
won't be a Big 12. And honestly, I think the Pac-12, which I said at the beginning of the year would not get one, but with how bad the Big 12 is, the Pac-12 might get 2 if the Big 10 only gets 1 and the SEC gets 1. Like Oregon and Washington are duking it out. Now, if Washington does a clean sweep and gives Oregon their second loss, because I believe they could still meet in the Pac-12 championship. I'm not 100% on that.
Is Florida State SEC or ACC?
No, they're ACC, but I just see them losing to somebody like Clemson.
Okay. And Georgia's SEC.
Correct.
Okay, so and 2 Big 10 teams, I think the Pac-12 gets shut out.
Right. That's if the Big 10 gets 2. I just don't think they will because of how good Washington is doing. If they can beat Oregon State this week, and you can't keep Washington out if they're undefeated.
Right.
You can't keep Georgia out if they're undefeated. So Michigan, if they stay undefeated, you can't keep them out. And then it would be up to. But this year, I just don't think that is a possibility. Just because if Washington's got to lose, there's so many teams that have to lose for that to happen.
Right.
I mean, Washington has to lose. Florida State has to lose. But I see Florida State. I mean, they've been flirting with losing a couple times, but they haven't.
Florida State would have to lose too, because that would knock them out of the playoffs.
Well, I mean, if they just lose 1, then it's up to the playoff committee.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State, they're only going to lose 1.
Right.
If they lose, it will be to Michigan.
Right. Or if Michigan loses, it'll be to Ohio State.
Correct. So that there's that. So I guess so if Florida State loses, if all those teams lose 1, and then it's just up to the playoff.
Yeah. Committee. You know what though? Iowa can play a major role if Ohio State beats Michigan next week, and we go in and beat Ohio State. We knock them out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be fun? I would love that.
That would be amazing. Oh my God, would that be amazing?
Yeah. We so rarely beat Ohio State that anytime we do, I love it.
I mean, they're 1-1 in the last 2 times they played.
Right. By the way, we went to them last year to play them. Last year, we take a year off. Next year, we play them again back at the their home again. Isn't it supposed to be like Ohio State should be coming to see us this year? Next year?
Because the schedule's completely different.
Okay.
They had to put other teams in there, so that whole scenario is going to start over.
Yeah.
They're not going to just keep playing at Ohio State, but
that's because Iowa insisted on having 3 rivalry games, which I'm not sure we needed to do that.
I mean, are they all trophy games? I'm guessing they
Yeah,
are.
they're all 3 trophy games, but Nebraska is the newest, so we could just knock that one out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Focus on Wisconsin and Minnesota. They're our oldest rivals. Okay.
I agree with that 100%.
Okay. Louisville should beat Florida State. That's one of the games we're going to pick here. Maybe we should do that while we have time before.
I like that, Casey. I would like that to happen.
Okay, I want to see the final week of college football be on fire. Well, that's because it's mainly rivalry the final week, man. That's when the football gets really exciting. If you don't watch games all season, that's the week to watch. Because anything could happen. But let's go over our games, okay? I'll get Paul's later. I'll send him a message and ask him to send me. Hopefully nobody plays on Thursday night in case he can't get back to me right away.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Sam wants Florida State. All right, let's go. Illinois at Iowa. Of course, you got Iowa. What's the score?
17-9. Iowa.
Okay. 17-9. I'm going to also take Iowa. Go Hawks. I'm going to pick 9-6. Same score as last year. Except this time we got the 9. Okay. Michigan at Rutgers.
Michigan. I'm going to root my ass off for Rutgers, though.
Yeah, I get it. I got Michigan, too. Louisville at Miami, Florida.
I'm going to go with Louisville. Wait a minute. I thought they were at Florida State.
I thought so, too. Or maybe they were talking about next week.
Okay. Louisville over Miami.
Okay. I'm going to pick Louisville, too. Okay, Utah at Arizona. Both are ranked.
Utah's ranked?
Yes. Utah's ranked as well as Arizona is ranked.
I knew Arizona was. I'm going to go with Utah. I just didn't think Utah was still ranked.
Yeah. So you're going with Utah?
Yes.
Okay. This is a tough one for me. I'm not convinced about Arizona yet, so it's still Utah for me too. Georgia at Tennessee.
Georgia by a lot.
Okay. Alrighty.
That would hit the over, Jared.
I'm also picking Georgia. I think you and I are right down the line even so far. Okay, Nebraska at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. It's in Camp Randall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going to pick Wisconsin, although I'm kind of hoping Nebraska wins, but it doesn't really matter as long as Iowa wins this week. Minnesota at Ohio State. Of course, Ohio State, right?
Oh, yeah. Minnesota can't play defense all of a sudden.
Yeah. This Minnesota will be officially eliminated after this week. Okay.
Did you hear PJ Fleck blame the NIL on their losing?
Yes, I heard that. He goes, I don't have enough money to pay these guys. You know what, though? Bluter basically said the same thing when she couldn't get anybody to come to her, transfer in.
But she's still winning.
She's still winning.
PJ Fleck is blaming the fact that he doesn't have players that he can't win.
Right.
Against bad teams. They lost to Northwestern. They lost. Who did they lose to 2 weeks ago? They lost to another bad Purdue. Purdue waxed them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't blame NIL for not beating Purdue.
You think PJ Fleck is on the hot seat, or you think he's good?
I think he's good until he wants to get out.
Okay.
He's got the best winning percentage of any coach since, the 50s or 60s?
He's had a nice little ride except for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, he's like Kirk Ferentz did. He's got some leeway.
Yeah. Okay. Washington and Oregon. This is a tough one.
Oregon State.
No, Oregon.
It's Oregon State.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just forgot to write it then.
Yeah.
Then it's easy for me. I'm picking Washington.
Oregon State, what are they? They're top 10 as well.
Yeah.
This is the game. Where's it at?
At Oregon State.
Ooh, it's in Corvallis. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Who'd you pick? Washington?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go against you for that because I think you're one pick behind or ahead of me. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Oregon State at
Okay.
Oregon State, Corvallis.
Oregon State, the Huskies, Washington. Okay, I just want to get some other picks. Texas at Iowa State.
I'm gonna go with Texas because I don't think Iowa State has the horses on offense, but I'm gonna root my ass off for Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm actually going to pick Texas as well. I want Iowa State to win that game, but we're picking who we actually think could win. Interesting scenario here: Purdue at Northwestern.
I'm going to go with Northwestern. I'm actually shocked that Purdue is favored in this game at Northwestern.
Yeah, I'm also picking Northwestern. They proved themselves to many people this year. Nobody's laughing at that team right now. Okay.
I will be shocked if Purdue can beat. Tyrone Tracy went off last week, though, against Minnesota. So maybe they got a running game going now. We'll see.
Yeah, some of the clips I've seen, he had some long runs.
Yeah.
You know?
He averaged like 8 yards a carry or something.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny is he's doing exactly at Purdue what Iowa wanted him to do, and he wouldn't do it. And, you know.
Purdue is now favored by 3. Wow. That's a shocker to me.
Is that because they won last week over Minnesota?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know where I didn't see the opening spread. So I don't know what the odds makers made it right away, but all the money and all the emotions probably going up Purdue after what they did. I hope so, Ari. Like I legit want Rutgers to win that game.
Yep. They win that game. That knocks Iowa down to the Outback Bowl. Right now we're in the Citrus.
No, if Rutgers beats Penn State, that moves Iowa up.
That's what I said. No, I mean, because Penn State would drop down out of the New Year's Six into the Citrus Bowl, which would push Iowa.
Well, put Iowa in the New York Six.
Oh, well, okay. All right. I can see that thinking. It works for me.
I mean, yeah. Penn State would have 3 losses.
Okay. All right, guys. It's past 8 o'clock your time there. Does anybody have the new rankings?
The opening spread was Northwestern. That one, see, that makes sense to me. But all the emotion is being poured in for Purdue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think we've run the course on this. I think it's time to he said hang, not beat.
I understand. I said I'm going to root my butt off for Rutgers to beat, though.
Yeah. You know what I wish I would like to do sometime? I don't know. It might be chaos, but I wouldn't mind getting all these guys on live talking.
Like 16 of them? Can you do 16 on this one?
I can only do 6 unless I want to pay. Then I can do more.
Oh, okay. So we could get 6 of us on here.
Yeah, 6 of us on here.
That would be funny. Then they wouldn't have to comment. If anybody wanted to join your show, that would be hilarious.
It would be. And anybody wants to, just send me an email. Well, actually, no. Now I can just do it through Messenger because they changed the email thing up, and so I'm not going to worry about it anymore.
College football waiting on basketball game to get over.
Which game is on right now that they're waiting on? Oh, Michigan versus Duke. Oh, Michigan State. Who's winning?
Last I saw, it was Duke by 3.
Okay.
I have 2 games on. I can't see the Illinois score. Kelvin, what's the Illinois score if you got a chance? I can't see either score. Both angles are bad for me as far as the score.
Yeah.
I can see people.
Mm-hmm. You're sounding really good tonight on these headsets. I had a hard time with Jared last night. I could not hear him most of the night.
Yeah, but I got a coach's voice. My voice just carries.
Yeah.
It's a little different. Everybody, my wife just
You
yells.
watched the replay. Did we sound okay? I mean, or did we sound muffled or quiet?
It sounded okay, but I now that you mention it, I think Jared was probably softer. He just needs to talk louder or get a
By
headset.
9, Duke by 8. They both coming up with a different one. Fun show. Go Hawks. I'll keep up with you in the wrestling. Okay. Marquette up by 5. Who is they playing Illinois?
Yeah, Marquette's playing Illinois.
All right. Okay, I think we got what we need. Let's get out of here, guys, so I can get in front of the TV and enjoy a little basketball tonight.
Yeah, you lucky.
Everybody have fun. All right, guys. I'll be next time you hear from me, I'll be in Oklahoma. I'll probably be at my Airbnb and we'll be live from my Airbnb on Sunday night.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either. Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching. You know the drill.